Hey everyone, Sean here with Roadrunner Sports, and today we're going to talk about poppin' blisters, complete with HD oozy-goozy footage. Okay, maybe not quite that far, but we are going to talk about some of the culprits and ways you can prevent your blisters so you can continue running without any issues. Let's check it out. So every runner has had to deal with blisters at some point in their life. I'd be surprised if you haven't. But what really causes them? The one thing is friction. Now, a lot of things can play into that friction. Shoes that are too small, shoes that are too ill-fitting, socks that don't moisture wick, foot abnormalities, if you're increasing your mileage or your training changes quite a bit, and just extra moisture. What happens with the friction is that water pools underneath the skin, causing the abrasions, and then obviously leaving you with a nice nasty blister that you have to deal with. So, what are you going to do if you do have them, and how do you prevent them from causing them in the first place? So how do you prevent blisters? We're going to give you a few tips of our favorite things that are going to help reduce the chance that you're going to get them. Number one, invest in a good moisture wicking sock. What these are going to do is take the moisture from the outside the layer of your foot and push it to the outside layer of the sock, which is going to reduce friction. Pretty simple, huh? These come in a variety of different cuts and sizes and cushion levels. That's going to be whatever your preference is. The other nice thing about a good moisture wicking sock is they're going to hold their shape, which isn't going to bunch in your shoe or rub or cause any chafing in those key spots that are usually prone to blisters. Beyond socks, we also recommend putting some powder or using some sort of lubricant to help ease the friction that could be happening in your feet. With the powder, it's going to dry out excessively wet feet, where something like Body Glide will help lubricate and allow your foot to move naturally, which isn't going to cause extra chafing or rubbing, specifically in the heel or in the front of your foot. Beyond that, you also want to be conscious of what your body is doing when you're changing mileage or intensity. Obviously, the more you run and the longer you run, your body's gonna adapt a little differently, which can cause blisters if your body's not used to it. So when you are ramping up your intensity or changing your mileage, just be aware of what your body's doing, because those can be some easy targets for getting blisters when everything else is going perfectly fine. So if you do get a blister, especially a big one, we recommend talking to a doctor just to make sure you're not popping anything that can cause some infection or lead to severe problems. If you have a smaller blister and it's not super painful, we do recommend taking a day or two off just to kind of let it heal on its own. However, if you want to keep running, you can use a Band-Aid, moleskin, or get a blister kit to help protect it. During this time, we also recommend keeping it dry and clean, so washing it regularly, using some antiseptic if you need to. But again, if it's getting any worse, we recommend going to the doctor. So there you have it, some tips about how you get blisters and how to treat them while not impeding your running all that much. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And check back next week for more tips to help you make every mile count.